granddaughter up.
You are watching Father Fish. Now please enjoy the video.
What are we doing?
You are watching Father Fish. Now please enjoy the video.
To the one can be lost on the way, cause the dreams bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back home. There's a time that I remember, cause I did not know the pain. When I believed in forever, everything will stay the same. Now I hope you like
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Father Fish. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
There's my mother.
I love that picture.
Wait, isn't it?
There we go.
Here we are. Yes. Hello, 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 everybody.
Hello,
Listen,
hello.
Mary did a $1.49 super sticker. Look at that. All
With the dog,
right.
with the doggy on it. That's for all the dogs
With
to
the
bark.
doggy on it, right. Who let the dogs out?
Right.
That's funny.
Here
Thank
comes
you,
everybody.
Mary, very much.
You're
See if
welcome.
we can get something. I need to get
Ooh, Scott, I see that. He's
what's
talking
that?
about
Stuff.
how sensitive they are. They really are.
What are
They're
you talking
tough,
about?
but Scott was saying he learned that Neocaridina shrimp are really sensitive critters, 10% water change, and almost lost them.
Well, they
Goodness.
are. They absolutely are.
Thank you, Scott and Wendy.
Mystery
I know,
snail
Cassie-
guardians.
Yeah, that's Annette. She snailed it from the beginning.
Look at this.
Snailed
Look
it.
at this mob in here. Snailed it.
I know it.
JVVMPSMTR. He's ready. He says he's ready. And it's almost
ready.
midnight. The witching hour. Oh, been here 2 hours because I'm on. Grandma says.
Grim,
you
that's
were
awesome.
enjoying yourself. Were you having fun, Grim?
Right.
That's the important thing.
Trying to
come
get
on,
this.
camera.
Oh, this camera
Come on.
angle. This is a
Yeah.
terrible. Sorry.
I'm having the same problem. Here we go. Want to see my new fish? Have you
Yes,
seen
I
my new fish? Let me see. We can look at it.
Let's see some new fish.
Look
What'd you
at
get?
that.
Ooh,
Look at
oh
that.
wow.
Look
Beautiful. Look at the colors.
We've got 3 pigeon
Wow.
blood. Those are pigeon blood. 4 blue stars.
Oh, the blues
and
are beautiful.
3 of these
That is
chocolate.
gorgeous.
Isn't that pretty? It's a chocolate
I've never
red.
seen that.
Yeah, like
Wow.
the honey. Yeah. And then the little ones are Uwaru.
Oh, I love
Uwaru and Pictoids.
Oh.
Yeah. One of my all-time
Cool.
favorites.
Oh,
They're
I
just-
want some of those.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
juvies. They're still
look
small.
at that.
They get big.
You still have your
And
little discus too, the babies?
I do. Let's see if we can look at them. There they are, right there. These are
They're
reds.
doing great.
They're doing okay, yeah. They're still pretty tiny. I've got 2. The quarter size are almost $1 size now.
Yeah.
And the little ones, I've lost 2 of the little ones.
Oh,
One
no.
disappeared early on. The other one, I did a water change, and I think it got caught in the siphon because that's when it
Oh, no.
disappeared. So, and it goes outdoors into the bushes. So there was no way to rescue it. But
I
those
like
are
that
doing
saxophone
okay.
voice too.
Yeah, let's see. These guys,
Those are just
they are
incredible.
spectacular. Did you
Yes, they,
watch that video of them eating the Betta eggs?
yes.
That wasn't it strange?
The betters were like, I don't know about this, but
I
they had
know.
caviar.
They were right there on it. So I talked
Wow.
to a friend of mine who's been breeding them. He said, well, that's the second thing, the second food source you've come up with.
You're right.
He raises Drapsilia, which is the wingless fruit fly that
Oh,
he
yeah.
feeds to his spiders. He has about 500 spiders.
Oh, wow. And that's what
And
he feeds.
he gave me a batch of the Drapsilia, and I noticed these guys were always lurking at the top. So I put a few in there, and they went right after him. So they're a tiny insect eater as well.
Yes. Oh, here comes some more.
Ooh, Dumbud. Hello, Dumbud. Cool. Who else is here? I'm Mary Henry Scott Stankovich.
Thank you, T-Bone.
T-Bone. T-Bone. Nice to see you, T-Bone. Member
Wow.
for 17 months. Look at that. Been stuck in floods. Have had no electricity or internet for a week until now. I've missed you guys. Father Fish,
So
have they
glad
passed
you're
that
here.
bill yet? No, the bill has not been passed yet. The main bill, which is the Competes Act, has not come up yet. I think the war is got everything kind of on hold in Washington right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We haven't heard anything though.
I was wondering. I know I haven't heard anything, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to keep track. So, if it comes up, I should hear about it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Zebra Pleco fans. Hello, Howard Van Tassel. Hey, Howard.
Hey,
Howard's
guys.
just showing up again after a while.
That's,
He's been unavailable because of his job. Excuse me.
we can understand that.
Really. 3G.
3G. Hey, Greg.
HB.
Hey, HB. Uh-oh, here comes
Aquatic News.
Just think, Scott, if we mix Father Fish's beard with my hair.
That'd be a party, wouldn't it?
Look like Sasquatch. No,
Really?
I would. Officially, where'd you go? Officially, I like that name.
Officially is here.
Yep, like he is officially fishy.
I like it. Right. There he is. Oh, it's 6:01. Popping in right at the top. Top of the hour. Lord, I was on Friday night with Shelby, and we went on for 2 hours.
Oh my goodness, y'all were partying.
It was fun. We really were. We got into putting together a fish cookbook.
Ooh,
People were coming up with all kinds of recipes. So we need to go back. I need to get in a rush to go back on that and to pull out those recipes and conversations because it was really fun. And do a fishy cookbook.
You mean like cooking for your fish, actually, or for eating fish?
No, cooking for fish.
For cooking for your fish.
Cooking for your fish, right?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, an aquatic culinary expert.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that one. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it. We've been redoing a kitchen for the past week, so we've been
Oh,
busy.
really? Oh, cool.
Yes, sir.
Zebra Pleco fans. I was talking. I have a friend here. In fact, it's Chris. Those of you who watch the Venice Aquarium Society video met Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Who is one of the top L series pleco breeders here in Southwest Florida. So I've been wanting to get him in touch with the Canadian crew. I think he would enjoy them. But they're both about the same age. 3G, thank you, 3G.
Yes.
$10 super chat fan, a #1 fan. Thank you so much.
We love
Wonderful.
you, 3G.
Betcha. Yeah, betcha.
Love everybody. Love you all.
Friday Gas was it was a great stream. It really was. Ginger squash. That's funny. Yeah, we had some fascinating recipes. I need to go back and retrieve that because there were some things I had never thought of. So it was pretty interesting. Hippie John the Fisher Pond. John
Hippie
S. Log.
Nice. He lives in a camper too.
Who 3G does or
Hippie John does.
Hippie John does. Yeah,
Hippie
I do
John.
too. Actually, no, I don't live in a camper. I live in a double wide.
Yeah.
It's kind of like living in a camper. Oh, I ran into a friend of mine. Actually, didn't run into him. He called me yesterday, I think. Captain Eddie, who I have not had contact with for at least a year. He's basically a street person, but he was real active in the shop. Came in all the time.
Was he the one that
disappeared?
He did a video one time for you or something? Was that the guy?
Yeah, might be. I don't remember. Anyway, I said, "Well, where are you?" He said, "Oh, I'm still here in Venice." I said, "Well, where are you living?" He said, "Well, you know where what's the name of the street? I don't remember. Waldorf crosses 75." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, there's a yellow fire hydrant there. If you walk past the fire hydrant into the woods, you get about 100 feet back in there, and there's an old garage, which is owned by a doctor who's got stuff stored in it. And I've been living there for a year."
All kinds of stuff.
He used to live on a boat, an old sailboat, and the city got so upset with him that they hauled his sailboat out and sunk it.
Oh no!
So he got another one. These are derelicts. I mean, they're junk boats. He got another one, and they did the same thing to that one.
Oh no!
In fact, they even put him in jail. And I said, you got to quit this boat business. It's ruining your life.
One day they're going to haul him off in the boat.
I know. Well, amazing they didn't, actually. And suck it with him in it, Lord knows.
Oh, my goodness.
So he's fine. And he's invited me to dinner. And I said, "Great, what are we serving?" He said, "Well, what do you like?" I said, "I'll like anything." He said, well, we're having gator and possum this week.
That could be good.
So yeah, and it's cooked on an open grill. So, probably cooked in the fire.
Hey, we're going to need you to video that when you go over there.
I do, really.
Oh.
Crystal. Hey, Crystal. Nice to see you.
Hey, girl. And Doobs is here, the Scowscaper.
Hey, Doobs. The Scowscaper, sure enough. Heidi ho. Everyone is well. Well, we're as well as we can get, considering the circumstances.
Right. Ooh, 3G, I missed your tanks. Oh, no. I see Hippie John said, I love seeing your tanks this morning. I missed it. We've
Yeah,
been so busy here. I haven't
he
done
said he
hardly
got out and
anything.
made some good money today. Do we want to know
Yes.
what you made the money at, Hippie? Or do we not?
I'd say it was on a good money.
Gator tail, yummy, says Scott.
Heck yeah. I take that back. I don't know if I've eaten gator. I've eaten shark. I've eaten
I've eaten
rattlesnake.
one gator. Yeah, gator's good. It's
I
gotta
haven't
be
eaten
tender.
turtle.
You gotta cook it right. If it's not tender, it's like chewing leather.
Yeah. Hey, lumpy dog.
Lumpy dog. Can't stay. Can't stay. Too late. Too late.
And
What was it? That was the rabbit, wasn't it? The rabbit that went down the rabbit hole. It's
right.
late. It's late. It's late. It's late. Can't stay. You didn't say can't stay. What did you say? Said it's late. It's late for a very important day.
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, good.
No
Hippie
time
John.
to say hello, goodbye. It's late. It's late. It's late.
That's right.
Right.
Glad you stopped in. Shark steak is good. Have you ever eaten shark, Father Fish?
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a story about that.
Okay.
I was where in the world was it? We were on the Outer Banks. Joan and I. Joan is the mother of my daughter. Joan. This is pre-daughter, so it goes back a week. We used to do
Back a week.
we used to do these 2-week tours. We went to the Outer Banks in I don't know what we were in, some kind of little thing. And they were fishing there, and we were having a good time. And they were complaining about some fish that kept breaking their gear. They were gone out and come back with broken gear. So they finally went out with a gun. And they got this thing up high enough, they shot it and killed it, dragged it onto the boat, put it on their pickup, came back with it. It was a ray, a manta ray that was easily 8 foot wide. So big that they put it in the truck and its wings flopped over the sides of the truck.
Oh, wow.
It was a monster. And they didn't know what to do with it. I said, well, you need to clean it. You need to butcher it. And they said, I can do that. And I said, I'll do it. So I got my sharpest knife and I got up there. Honest to God, it was like butchering a cow.
Oh, my gosh.
With a penknife. It was, I had a fillet knife, but so we got this thing and finally got it all down to the point where we had some scallops. And we cooked them and they were tougher than shoe leather. Totally inedible. I don't know what they did with it. I'm sure they don't.
I wondered if you could eat a ray. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you can, but you gotta what's it called when you put them in, like
marinate them.
Yeah, you have to marinate them. You got to tenderize them. Generally, they boil them, like with snapper. Snapper's one of my favorites. With snapper, you clean it and then you boil it. And you boil it for like half an hour. And then you take it out and you flour it. You chill it overnight. And then you flour it and fry it. And it comes out really tender doing it that way. Otherwise, it's just too tough to eat.
Well, we got
Roman
a bot.
Sharaf here. Hey, Roman. Nice to see you.
Did that work?
What?
Oh, we had a bot. Yeah, I got it. One of those rascally bots or whatever they are.
I'm gonna kill him here. Let me kill him. if I report him,
Out of here.
we're reporting pornography.
There you go.
Report. Bah! Turkey. Is he gone?
Oh,
Should be gone.
there is Sir Raleigh, Fish Keeping Jamaica. How are you?
Oh, how nice. Hey, Sir Raleigh. Yeah, he's apparently gone because he won't come up. All right, Grenwood. Rare treat for me as I don't hunt, but I have some friends and neighbors who do. Greetings
Oh,
from
yes.
Jamaica.
Oh, talking about
Jamaica.
Ben.
What's he talking
Thank
about?
you, John. Yeah, we
Venison.
eat a lot of venison. I love it.
Venison.
Oh.
Somebody spell venison for hippie. Hippies can't spell. Venison.
But he can eat venison. I
Right.
love to fry it. I love making venison steaks.
I got some in the freezer.
I used to make venison roast for our church eating meetings on Sundays, and all the old ladies would be like, "I'm not going to eat that." And I wouldn't tell them it was venison, and they'd be eating my pot roast.
And eating meeting.
And eating meeting.
Eating meeting. I never heard that. That's cool. You call
Oh,
him the
sir.
dog or rabbit? What?
Sir Raleigh's wondering if you've ever used clay in your aquariums.
Yeah, I have, and I've got a specific formula for doing it. There's a problem with clay. Two problems, actually. Number one, it'll turn your tank water to milk, and it'll never stop being milk. So you can't put it in contact with the water. That's number one. Number two is it is so dense that the roots of plants cannot go into it. They will surround it, but they can't get in it. Now, clay is mineral content. It's pure mineral content. As such, it is a very rich source of nutrients for plants. Here's the secret. You turn it into slip. Any of you who are potters know what slip is. It's simply liquid clay. You put enough water in it and get it going enough that you, in effect, dissolve it. It's not really dissolved. It's
Like a milky.
slipper.
Yes.
It's slippery. That's why they call it slip. You then take that slip and you mix it in with soil, with peat moss,
There you go.
soil, bog material, any of that kind of stuff. What that does is then it brings the minerals in contact with the roots of the plant. So it makes it much more accessible to the plants. And it's a really spectacular way of being able to use clay. Clay, one of the prime, depending on where it's collected, typically it has a great deal of iron in it. Again, depending on where it's collected. I guess the blue clay does not, but the red clay does. I don't know what the blue clay has in it. Anyway, if you'll do that, it's a great way to use it and to really get the benefit of it. And then once you got that mud in there, you cap it with 2 inches of sand. It's critical to cap with sand. Sand is really the magic ingredient. It doesn't provide nutrition at all, but it does separate the nutrition from the water column. And because it is semi-permeable, it allows all of the waste matter in the water to sift down through the sand to precipitate into the bottom, which takes a long time. Doesn't happen quickly. It takes
There's
a
that
year or
saxophone.
more. A long time.
I love it. Oh, there's a
There
big
you
mountain.
have it.
And there you have it. Oh, he says so clay wouldn't be good for crustaceans that aren't in it. Probably not. Team detritus. I know there's Terry's tropical tanks. I love that. Team detritus.
Well, yeah, what'll happen is you want to play in with snails. It'll turn the water into mud, and they'll work it until it does. I mean, you can do it, and it won't be unhealthy. And you keep changing the water, and you'll be changing that water until the clay is gone. If you don't much care how it looks, go ahead and do it. It's not going to really hurt anything. It just will make it the most undesirable tank you have from an aesthetic standpoint.
Yeah. The dogs.
Alex said he lived in a garage for a year.
Yeah.
If I ever lived in a garage. Well, I've had a bedroom in a garage.
Yeah.
Lived in a garage. Probably. Lived in a lot of funny places.
A lot of different places.
Manta or cow ray? It was a manta. The cow ray's much smaller. It was big. It was a monster.
That's right, Terry. I'm not team detritus, but I am in heart.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay. Oh, fish keeping Jamaica. Talking about the sand creates future issues for Aquarium. But he keeps a lot of cichlids and the tilapia and things like that. So, but I mean, you can. Let's see, making my aquatic space messy.
RB Dar is taking it up with me. Use non-clumping, non-scented kitty litter as your clay. It's montimerolite. It still will dissolve minerals, nutrients into the water column. And that's the issue you want to avoid. The sand is there to prevent that from happening. So if you want to, you can do it if you don't want your tank set up more than a few months. But if you want a permanent tank, you need to cap it with 2 inches of, guess what?
Sand. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, did you see what Sir Raleigh said? Here comes the bell. Here it comes. He said, Sir Raleigh says, I know it's a lot of questions, but he's just trying to get as much info from the big general as he can. He knows.
Arbidar, montemorolite powder used in high-end koi ponds only once. Only once. Once they try it and see what happens, that it's got to be cleaned out minimum once a year. They don't go back and use it again. Read the research from the London Koi Society. They studied this extensively some years ago and found that it was, like a lot of things, counterintuitive. Isabella. How are you, Isabella? Nice to see you, dear.
And there goes Scruffy barking. I told you it happened. I was trying to. There we go.
Same problem, Tank.
And Dad, the Digitech man.
The problem with clay, if you leave it in its solid form, is that the roots of plants cannot get in it. So they really can't use it. A certain amount of it will dissolve. I mean, it'll dissolve, and that'll provide some nutrients. But if you want to really use it effectively, turn it into slip, mix it with soil, put it in the tank, and cap it with sand. That gives you maximum benefit. If you want a minimum benefit, that's on you. You can do that. It's just not something I don't promote. I mean, I don't promote. It's something I don't promote. I don't promote minimalism. I promote maximalism. We're into the grand the grand gesture here, not the minor flick, if you will. We're not flipping off fleas from dogs. We're eating elephants.
We're eating elephants. I know. It's Scruffy. Let me go let Scruffy in so he'll shut up.
ABC. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. I find it interesting to watch the dark layer of mom detritus work its way down through the sand cap and into the soil. Yeah, it really is, and you really can see it. It works both ways too. As that's going down, the soil is coming up, and they kind of meet in the middle. It takes 2 to 3 years for that meeting to occur, and in time, the whole thing becomes it becomes chelated, and that's the key that makes it possible for this to work. It's the process of chelation that reduces the toxicity, the anger, if you will, of the mineralization process, and smooths it out so that the roots are able to take advantage of it. Otherwise, it just burns them up. Scott, clay turns to brick and it becomes way too dense. Well, yeah, that's exactly what clay is. Clay is unfired brick. I mean, that's what it is. It is. Here. Let me explain it this way. The reason that there are fish farms in Southwest Florida is because when you dig down between 10 and 15 feet, you run into a layer of clay. Mm-hmm. That layer is 2 to 3 feet deep. Floating on top of that layer of clay is a river of water. It is the top water table. So when you dig a pond, you dig down to that clay, not into the clay, to the clay, and the pond fills up to the level of the water table. When there's a lot of rain, it's higher. When it gets droughty, it's lower. All of the ponds, and there are thousands in Southwest Florida, are built on that principle. They do not run dry because it's deep enough that the water table sustains itself permanently. It may get shallow, but it never goes dry. It also never permeates the clay. It sits on top of it. Now, every once in a while, some silly farmer will get out there with his backhoe or put some kid in the driver's seat, and they start digging, and they dig right down to the clay and keep going. And guess what happens? They dig through the clay, and the entire water table in that region goes right through the hole into the deeper level. There are water tables in Florida that go down hundreds, perhaps as deep as 1,000 feet. Some of the deep springs are nearly 1,000 feet deep. There are others that are hundreds of feet deep. They are vast, and they are all below the clay. So there's a lesson in Florida aquaculture.
Yes.
And it's the word for water stuff, water tables, whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. Had a few more people pop in. We've got Aquafunk here.
Funk! Nice
Kevin
job
Funk.
last night, by the way. I missed it. Went back and listened. Really, really great. So thoroughly enjoyed what you're doing and really very much appreciate what you're doing, Funk. It's a real service to the community.
Funk is awesome.
He's had some scientists on talking about what they do and how this this piece of legislation is going to destroy their efforts.
Boy, it sounds like I got a lot of catching up to do on
Me
watching
too.
Fridays. Dogs, really? Let's see. Oh, and here's a verily KC. Hi, new fishy friends. Well, hello and welcome. These dogs are super bad tonight. Sorry.
Yeah, right. That's true. LRB wants to put some ponds in. He'll learn that.
Scruffy, come here. Come here, Scruff.
Verily, KC. Hello.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, the limestone's much deeper, Tank. It's not shallow. It's very deep.
Boy, I had a first happen to me the other day. I bought black diamond sandblasting sand like I always do, and I didn't pay attention, and I got the fine, it's like baby powder.
Right.
It was a mess. I've never seen it before. I'd heard about it. As a matter of fact, I heard about it last Sunday on the stream. Somebody made a comment about getting the wrong kind, and I got, oh, it was a mess.
You can still use it.
Can I? It looked like it was just packed too hard.
No, it'll be fine. It's sand. Water's going to still permeate through it.
Okay.
So it'll work. It'll work fine.
Well, good. I will not. Yeah, you hear lots of pooches, Kenneth.
What is this conversation, Kevin? Got the greenish bluish color bottom 2/3.
Okay, Funk.
Greenish bluish. Yeah, that's algae. It's algae that the Digitech.
Wait a minute, John spelled it out for me. Dad, the Digitech man.
The Digitech, right. The Digitech man. Right. Schooling for schooling. Hello. One of the good things in life, setting up a new tank. Amen to that.
Yes.
Amen to that.
These dogs.
Hey, Kenny, nice to see you.
Always good to see Kenneth and, gosh, everybody. Oh, and Sir Raleigh said, thanks for your responses, big boss man. I love him.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 3G is kind of a different color. It is kind of grayish, but and ABC says just rinse it. And Father Fish said do it. So guess what? I'll just do it. Just do it.
Fine. Hey, Gridwood, where do you live? You're obviously in a mountain range. Where do you live, friend?
Are you here near Kentucky?
Really?
We're soft limestone.
Somewhere in Appalachia.
Man, if you could use limestone for aquascaping rocks, man, I would be rich.
Well, you can. It's just going to keep the water hard.
Really hard.
Really, really hard. Amber. Where's Amber?
Yes, that was who I was going to tell you about. Amber's here. Two Kenneths.
Big city.
Oh, he's north of Maine. Or she, I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Ren?
Canada?
North of Maine.
Canada.
Oh, Tank wants to know if you're going to have any interesting speakers next time at your local fish club that you're going to stream. That was really good, y'all.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? For this month, there's a new shop that just opened up. Some folks who had a shop in Chicago and they're going to be talking about their new shop and what they're interested in doing. They're very dynamic, uh, fun people. It'll be really cool. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be very animated. There'll be a lot of question answer. It's kind of a getting to know you sort of thing. Um, and they're excited about it, and we're excited about them. So
Oh, I'm excited.
that's for the next meeting. After
Now,
that, after that, we have an aquatic expert, John Patterson, who's going to be doing a program probably about a collecting trip to Peru. He's done some
right.
pretty neat collecting trips. And then sometime later on this year, Chuck is going to do a program. Chuck
Hey, have
is,
you seen the Peru trip that the Amazon Research Center they're having?
I got my
Did you get your
ticket in. I got a ticket in.
I swear, if
Do you know what? I
that
won't
would
be
be
able to go if I win.
if you take me
Because
with you and go, I can
well,
assist you,
you can go, right. They require COVID shots.
Kevin. Oh, true. Yeah.
And I'm not going to do that because it'll kill me.
So you have to fly. Yep.
Yeah. That
Thank
might
you
be
all.
rescinded by
Oh,
then.
I'm telling you what, I don't know what's got all these animals jacked up today. It's like they know I'm coming on Father Fish and they go crazy. Oh, okay, ABC. That's a good idea. Use limestone in combination with a peat substrate or in a black water tank.
Huh.
That's a
Let
good
them
idea.
fight with each other.
Yeah, they'll eventually balance out.
I got what a story. I got a story about that.
All right. Yes, we inspired a story.
Years ago, I had a church that had I was working with multi-disabled people whose primary disability was deafness, but they were also retarded and physically disabled in other ways, so forth. So anyway, I set up a fish room in the church. We had a basement, and I had probably 50 tanks in the basement, and then tanks spread throughout the church. That's when Henry Hall was involved with us, and I was active with the National Aquarium. So anyway, I had a young man who was just so excited about fish, and he really wanted to learn everything there was about fish. So I had him working in the fish room. Well, I went into the fish room one day, and he was saying, "What's wrong here? What's wrong there? What's wrong?" And I looked, and the fish were kind of acting weird. So I pulled out the test kit, and the pH had dropped. It was down below 6. So I said, "Oh, okay, pH down. We need the white powder." So he brought me a container of white powder, and I put it in, and the pH went up, and then it went down. And I put a little more in, it went up, and then it went down. And I said, "What is this?" I looked, and it was sodium bicarbonate. And I said, "Bring me the other one." He said, "What? What other one?" I said, "There were 2 bottles of white powder." "Oh," I threw that away. "Well, why did you do that?" "Because it was empty." "How did it get empty? It was full." "Oh, well, I mixed them together. They're both the same. Mixed them together and threw the other one away.
Well, so actually had created balance or
Sodium
something.
thiosulfate and sodium bicarbonate.
Oh, no.
It could have been a bomb. I mean, so
No, it
both
created
of them got-
balance. Boom.
both of them got through. No, it didn't balance. It just went up and down.
It's just been like a volcano coming out of there.
Bloody weird.
Oh my goodness.
I was distraught.
I bet. Oh my goodness. See if I've missed anybody. Who else has come in? Yep, like I said, Amber came in, so good to see her.
Amber.
And Aquafunk says I need to check my mail on Wednesday. Okay. If I get your autograph, Funk, I'm gonna faint. I want a poster of your face like Father Fish with your autograph on it. I haven't shown that.
He ought to do that. You
He
can do
should.
it. Yeah, you can do. You can do it on
Right, Tanked.
Vistaprint.
Yeah.
You can do those big pictures. Where are mine? I still got some somewhere, I think.
Oh, hold on.
I do. I do.
Mine's waiting for a frame. Y'all ready for this? For those of you who haven't seen it yet?
Here we go.
Look at that.
You ready?
Mwah. Mine says "Love you, Mary" on it.
Right.
I love it. Funk, I need you to make me one of these. Yeah, instead of stickers, I want everybody in the Fish fam to take a great big picture and sign it and send it to me.
Right.
And
Here
I'll
we go.
wallpaper my camper with it.
Vistaprint does these. These are available for $20 plus, and that includes shipping.
There's Sunset Jen and
Sunset Jen.
And
Hello, hello.
So,
Whoops. Put it back so it don't get
pretty
ruined.
cool. Yeah, mine, it's folded very gently. You folded it like this to send it to me, but it doesn't have any.
No creases in it.
Yeah, it'll back
Trying
out.
to be real careful about that.
So I'm going to put it back in my cabinet where it doesn't get touched. There we go. Dun dun dun. That's all HV.
Yeah, that limestone goes very, very deep. Right,
There's
it's
ADHD.
way below the clay level,
Oh, yeah.
and it creates caverns, but they're water filled, so you have to dive through them. And people die doing it. It's pretty scary. ABC. To buy the picture, go to PayPal, fatherfish at fatherfish.net. Now, that is not a working email address. It is, however, the name of the account at PayPal. So if you put $20 in there and say, send me the big picture and put your name on it, I will autograph it and send it to you.
Oh, boy. And that goes for the coffee mugs, too, right? They can get their coffee mugs.
Yep,
Through
coffee mugs
PayPal?
too. That's
Let's see if
$25
I
in a
can-
coffee mug, right?
Here, I'll put your PayPal on here.
Where's the coffee
Here we
mug?
go.
Coffee mug.
Yep, my coffee.
Father-
Oh, my coffee mug's
Father-
in the house by the coffee maker.
This one.
Ah.
I got two of them. Where's the
I
other?
cherish my coffee mug. I still want one for my tank. Oh, ADHD's here. Have you seen off her aquarium? She's got like a cup from.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I have.
That's so neat.
Very cool. Yeah.
How's all your fish doing now, Em? She had that big order of fish. Oh, where did my chat just go? It just disappeared. Oh, and somebody
I
else
am
just.
in the dark. Why
just
am I in the
reptile.
dark? Tact is saying I'm in the dark.
Oh, there's a fish. Hey, Mr. Reptile, who is now, well, a fish is now Mr. Reptile.
Elusive
Good to see
fish.
you.
Member for 16 months. Nice to see you, Mr. Reptile. And thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, here's the
Redwood
paper.
said I'm not photogenic. Well, if you put
When
your
people meet
put your head in a fish tank and take a picture of it, that would be
me,
fun.
Joe, I'm scared when people meet me in real life, they're going to say, who's this old lady?
Really.
Here's Father Fish's PayPal. And Crypt Keeper, hello. Sunset. I said hello to Sunset Jen, but mwah. Too Cooley, I meant to send you a hug. Hugs for everybody.
Ooh.
Crypt Keeper says,
Sarko is fighting Ick.
uh-oh.
That's all right. He's got a handle on it. It'll be fine.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I've been
HB, you don't even know. Kenny D has an angelic spirit. He absolutely
yes.
is. He is amazing. Remarkable man. The essence of gentility.
Yes.
Very essence.
Kevin says, got to go back to my NASCAR race. Okay. Go check them out and see what they're doing. I forgot the NASCAR was on right now.
Ooh.
ADHD, I know your pain. She says she's got stickers, but too broke to send them out right now. That's like me. I want to sell plants eventually if I can get some going. Do you still have new plants?
Oh, yeah. I've always got plants.
Okay.
Always had plants. Crypt Keeper. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you.
JBVMPSMTR has a good question. Is there a cold water equivalent to Betta fish? A fish that is happy living alone in a small cold water tank without a heater? What kind of plants would be good for that?
Gobies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most gobies are cold water or will do well in cold water.
ADHD,
there are a lot of different kinds of gobies. Any North American native, of which there are many. Many. Has anybody seen Maple Street lately? I haven't.
That's cold water aquatics now, right?
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know.
Sunset Jen says, Father Fish, do you think fish reach a critical mass in tanks? And there goes my dog, sorry.
Really good question. Yeah, but it's balanced by two other factors. One is the nature of the substrate and whether that substrate is able to contain the bioload. And the other is plants and whether the plants are able to be in, it's the wrong way of saying it, the relationship between the plants and the fish is an absolute relationship. They are fully dependent on each other. It's why if you put fish in a tank that has no plants, they will either suffer and struggle, or the tank will develop substantial algae blooms, which is balancing the life force of the fish with the plant. So the principle is that the more plants you can have, the more fish you can have. And that is literally true. If you have a tank that is jam-packed with plants and it has enough light coming into it to keep those plants doing photosynthesis, then you can have an equal volume of fish. Now, obviously, they're going to be little fish because big fish will have trouble navigating it. But if you think about guppies, for example, in a 10-gallon tank, if you have a very thick tank full of thick plants like Java fern or hornwort, that sort of thing, you will be able to house substantially more fish in that than you would be able to if there were no plants there. Now, I've never tested the weight or volume, but I would be willing to bet that it's a pretty close to a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you have a pound of plants, you can probably have a pound of guppies. A pound of guppies, my God, would be 500 guppies. But you could do it. You could put 500 guppies in a 10-gallon tank that was full of plants, and the plants and the guppies would survive. I wouldn't do it because the maintenance on it would be rather
Oh,
delicate in terms
right.
of feeding primarily. I mean, if you do a deep substrate, if you loaded it with, I mean, really loaded, like 2 to 3 inches of humus in the bottom, wild humus, leaf mulch from a creek, then put the plant in, and then put a couple of hundred guppies in, that would probably stabilize and be able to continue for months with no particular intervention. Eventually, it's going to go out of balance
Yeah.
because it's too much bio load in too small a container. But you'll be amazed how long it can last. So great question.
And
And I
then
hope that was not a more confusing answer.
oh, said thank you. And then another one Crypt Keeper just asked is, what does the buildup of hormones in the tank water do exactly? I know that it said to do water changes even in planted tanks to get rid of the hormones, but what harm do they do?
I had a discussion with a biologist this afternoon about this.
Aha.
And what he was talking about was DNA, which is even more significant because a fish traveling through a body of water leaves its DNA in that water. We talked about this a while back. We talked about the emotion of water, water as a life force. So the hormones in the water are going to, if you have one species of fish or one classification of fish, the hormones and the DNA that develop in that water are in a simpatico relationship with the animals in it. By adding plants to that, you're sweetening the relationship, if you will. In other words, you're breaking down the caustics. That would be the effect of the plants. So far from being a negative, it's really a positive. I know fish breeders who are raising fish in water, fish like angelfish and tetras, raising fish in the same water that has been in that tank for 25 to 30 years. So, no such thing unless you foul it. And if you foul it, the thing to do is to pull out whatever fish are still left alive, strain it out. You can actually leave it, not do a thing to it, and in a matter of a week, that water will stabilize and be healthy again. So even the most foul water, once you remove the fouling agent, the water will return to a stable, healthy state. We always want to change water because it's easier and quicker, and it seems to be the right thing to do, but it is not necessarily the right thing to do. If you've got really good water and the fish are doing really well in it, I wouldn't change it on a bet. Why do that? Why take something that is working perfectly, that is brilliant, that is healthy and dynamic, and change it. That's when you lose fish. You lose fish when you take something that's working really effectively and you make a basic change in it. Too many people have done water changes followed by fish death. And I believe that's why it happens. Because you're taking them out of a pristine environment where they're perfectly healthy and changing it into a stress environment where they've got to struggle to be able to maintain themselves. Not all new water is good water. Sometimes the water you've got is better than the new water you can put in there. Now, I know that runs counter to all kinds of popular wisdom. I just leave you with that.
That's a good thing to leave it with.
John Fish is calling me. Hello, John.
Are you in Denver?
No, I am live and online.
Oh, John.
All right. He said I'll call you back by.
Oh, thank you, Dead Digit Tech Man. I still can't say it right. Everybody hit the like.
The Digitech Man.
The Digitech Man. There, I said it. There it went.
You got it. Rob. Hey, Rob.
Yes, Frobs. Oh, excuse
Where'd
me.
you go? I lost that. Solomon lost it.
Sorry, y'all. I did have pneumonia yesterday, so I'm trying to breathe. Yeah, that's another thing I've noticed since keeping planted tanks. It just, I mean, I can do water changes, but they just seem to be pretty well balanced.
Yeah, why ruin a good thing?
Oh, these dogs. Craig Doniger came in. And let's see, we said hello to
Hey, Craig. Nice to see you.
Thank you, ADHD. Yeah, yesterday I was worried. I don't look the greatest, but I was having bad chest pain. It was kind of scaring me, but I ended up having, what is it, pleurisy? So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Let's see.
well, you
Hippie
sound
John.
a lot better. ABC and NA natives. I love North. I love them. I really do. I'm in Florida. I cannot keep natives that are much north of me, like Tennessee darters. Forget it. Sticklebacks. They won't
Forget
leave.
it.
It's too warm. It's too warm. I can't keep them. But there are a lot of pretty nice Florida natives, and I got all of them.
Yeah, Hippie John was asking about Betta's needing fresh water more often. Can you enlighten me? But Betta's,
Think about
yeah.
where bettas live in the wild. Think about where they live. And think about why they are a labyrinth fish. They live in very still water. One might say stagnant water. Rice paddies, but more commonly ditches. Little, what's the word for like a low area in a forest or a wooded area, swampy. They live in shallow, swampy water that's very high in CO2 because there's lots of vegetation rotting in it. That's where they find their food, all the microfauna that's living in there. See, they don't eat vegetable matter. They eat little bugs, microscopic bugs, little worms, little daphne, all of that sort of stuff. But they can't really breathe in it because there's no oxygen. So what do? They go to the top, they release a bubble, they take in another bubble, and they swim around for another 10 or 15 minutes. So Bettas. What are they living in the wild? They're living in smelly, typically overheated, typically under-oxygenated, typically very high level of detritus, of waste, of humus. Not the sort of conditions you would want to keep them in your fish tank, but that's their natural environment, you see. Now, here's the difference. It tends to be highly acidic. As a result, that acid level controls bacteria, keeps the bacteria at a very low level. So they tend not to get infected because the bacteria level is kept low, which is why in a tank that has a pH ranging 7 to 8, you need to keep it clean in the sense of not having things rotting in it to create bacteria, because they are highly susceptible to bacterial infection. Why are they susceptible to it? Because it does not exist in their natural environment. So they have no way of fighting it off. So if you want to keep bettas healthy, you can keep them healthy in hard alkaline water. But it must be clean. How do you keep it clean? With a deep substrate and humic substance. That controls bacteria, creates enough of a variety of bacteria that it does not get out of control. It also allows you to feed very sparingly and not get in any trouble in that respect. And so you will have very healthy bettas like that.
I just read was that Sunset Jen just said that? Wait a minute. No, it was Too Cooley. Says I swear I saw one of my pygmy Corys fart a little bubble. I don't have a question, just wanted to share.
I think I would worry about that. That doesn't sound normal to me. Could be.
That's funny. And that'd be a little bitty bubble too.
I'll tell you what I would do. I would feed him garlic. It could be a sign of bacterial infection.
Yeah.
Internal bacterial infections. I wouldn't be overly concerned if he's swimming around normally, but put some crushed garlic in there. If there is some bacteria and they eat it, it'll help to clean out their gut. That's funny. Don't think I ever saw that.
Yeah. Who I think it was Alex did a video on his was on Do Fish Pee. Somebody did one on farting fish. I can't remember. But
really, that's one of their favorite activities.
Hey,
that's where all the ammonia
just had
comes
Sagrath.
Who?
Sagrath, 1982. I don't know if we'll have time tonight, but it says he'd like to show you semi-professional aquascaping tanks with the Wallstat method. We would definitely like to see him one day.
Yeah, we're running over right now, but yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you see Jess's interview this morning with Andres? No. She did a video.
No,
she interviewed Andres. Yeah, check that out.
Cool. He just had an operation Friday. He had a hernia operation, so he's not moving around much. Yeah, he's an amazing guy. Amazing.
Yes,
guy.
He really is. Every time I think about him, I think about the whiptail catfish. And somebody else said they got whiptails, and I forgot who it was. Who I think you're still, was it HB maybe?
You
Somebody
saw
was
one
talking
in my
about.
tank, a brown one.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, verily, verily, KC says, I use the garlic paste sold in a tube. Yep, that's a good idea. Just the tube garlic. It comes out like toothpaste. Oh, thank you, ADHD. Oh, he did. Steve got ADHD said Sheller got some whiptails. I've got to catch up on some of his videos too. And Jason Peculiar, I meant to say hello to you. Sagrath and Jason. Yeah,
Wow.
we've been rocking and rolling. Kenneth D wants to know if you trimmed your beard. He says you've got a long way to catch up with him.
Yeah, I did. It was longer. I did. It was getting too seedy looking. So
Oh,
yeah, I
no.
did it a while back then.
And hello to Juliana 90. Oh, microalgae. I have a little pond outside. How can I use or not this to harvest naturally like microalgae or whatnot? Oh, like you've got a little pond out there you'd like to, well, that you could get Daphne and stuff and mosquito larvae and
Yeah, load it up with leaves, dried dead
Yeah.
leaves, and let them work in there. And then you can bring some of that leaf matter into your tank, and it will provide nutrition for a whole population of microfauna. It'll also allow you to create a food web in your tank. So that's a great resource. You can use it as a way of being able to create culture to put in your tank.
there goes the cats. Excuse me.
Harvest every 2 to 3 days. Yeah, cool. Nice, Sunset Jen. That's cool.
Oh, I do want the whiptails. I've been talking to Father Fish about them forever. Yours has gotten pretty big, hasn't it? The one you have, Father Fish?
I've lost a couple. I've got one. I got this brown one. I don't know if I can find it.
Oh, yeah, Hippie John, about the oak and maple leaves. What I've learned
maple
about
leaves are fine. Oak leaves are good. Maple
Yeah.
leaves are good.
And somebody told me one time it's better to collect your oak leaves like now and then use them, like let them cure for what, 6 months at least. Now I don't know if that's, but that's just what I've
you
heard.
want to put them in water. If you can collect some from standing water,
Yeah,
that's even preferable.
nice sunset, Jen.
I don't see him. Don't know where he is.
Oh yes, Scott. Those troughs.
All right, we're running over the hour here. How are we doing in the chat? What's going on there?
Oh, talking about Crypt Keeper, talking about snow. Yeah, it's put snow in here. It's not even been cold here. I've got like Florida weather.
Yeah, oak and maple leaves are perfect.
Okay. The maple leaves are too?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
But you never want to use them if they have any kind of sap in them. They need to be thoroughly dry, or they need to be preferably rotting in a body of water. That's the best way to collect them, because you're getting material that is partially digested, that contains the very life that you want to be able to introduce to your tank.
Craft modeling clay or clay beads? Crypt Keeper. Would you get craft modeling clay or the clay beads? Oh, you're talking about for using the clay? Maybe. Just lots of people helping each other. There's some great comments. Everybody just talking about all kind of good stuff.
I'll tell you what I would try to find is wild clay. I would try to find clay somewhere in nature.
And like
it's
you
going
said, just
it's going to be more appropriate. If you have to buy it,
hey, Crypt Keeper. I missed part of
the
the question.
problem is that it could have any number of chemicals in it. You don't know
Okay.
how it's been clarified.
Here's
You
the
know.
rest of the question. I missed it. I'm sorry. And then I know you're probably ready to go. But for substrate for crypts, I've been adding grape leaves under the aqua soil to boost the iron a little bit. Was told recently that red clay is better at it. What are your thoughts? So that was
Yeah, true. Again, you don't want to put the red clay in a clump. However, you want to turn it into slip, get it emulsified, so it's essentially mud, and then mix that in with your soil. That brings it into contact with the roots of the plants. It makes it accessible. I don't know if maybe I didn't communicate that clearly enough. The the problem with clay is its density. That's why it's used to make pots and bricks. Firing does not make it more dense. It already is that dense. It simply makes it more brittle, harder, if you will. Drives out more of the moisture, makes it harder. So clay, by its very nature, prevents water from going through it. You would not use clay in place of sand because the water would sit on top. It would never distill down into it. So to overcome that, you want to put the clay in enough water that it will dissolve, that it'll turn into mud. And then mix dirt in with that. And what you're doing then is you're getting that clay all over the dirt so that as the roots go through, they're able to come in contact with all of those minerals that are what clay is. Maybe that communicates.
Yeah. And then cap it with sand. Ding, 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 ding.
Like that, right.
Danny Weshy popped in here at the end. Hello.
375-gallon cage totes on Marketplace for $40. Wow, that's a deal.
Yes, it is.
That's a deal. I don't have any of those. That's something I'd really like to have. Need a barrel to store my tons of maple leaves in. Yeah, right. Fill it with water and stick them in it. Yeah, absolutely. And then as you go around, be collecting water and mulch from different creeks, streams, and ponds, and throw it in that barrel. That'll be bringing more variety of microfauna, bacteria, and Lord, my brain's going.
The parameciums and the
fungi.
Oh,
fungi. Because fungus is a critical part of being able to break down those leaves. It's the bacteria and the fungus that break it down. The microfauna eat it, and they may chew it, but they don't really break it down. It's bacteria and fungus that break it down, that make it that turn it into food for the microfauna. And fish too. Sycamore bark.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to make sure it's very, very dried out. Any kind of driftwood that still contains sap is going to pollute the tank, and it will be a particularly virulent kind of pollution. It'll be difficult to overcome and it will kill your fish. So it's critical to ensure that your wood is utterly and thoroughly and completely dead with no living vegetable matter like sap in it. Nothing, nothing from, no, nothing that keeps that wood soft or from rotting. You want it totally dried out. The best way to do that is to put it in water 6 months to a year, and it'll be usable. But it takes that long. It don't expect that you're going to be able to find a piece of wood on a tree and cut it out and stick it in your tank within 12 months, because you won't be able to.
Yeah.
It's going to have too much sap in it, and it'll be toxic.
Too Cooley asked about aspen leaves. Wondered if they were safe to collect. She says, I live on the prairie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, aspen's a hardwood tree. Absolutely.
Oh, that's cool, Danny. Danny says he's got a mushroom that grows from his Mapani driftwood above the surface. That's really cool.
Oh, that's neat. There are mushrooms that grow in water, and they're found in a couple of places in the Colorado River. I'm dying to get somebody to collect some for me.
Yes.
They're
John,
an aquatic mushroom. There is aquatic fungus, but these are actually a mushroom.
That's pretty cool. What about Jacaranda?
Jacaranda. Jacaranda. Yeah.
God, I get tongue-tied.
Yeah, I would not do that. A jacaranda is a softwood. It contains a lot of sap.
You too,
It
Kenneth.
would have to be really super duper dry. And it's going to take a year for those pods to really dry out. And the seeds hold moisture they can hold moisture for a couple of years. So you want to be careful about softwoods. The benefit of softwood, if you can get it thoroughly dead, is that it deteriorates very nicely in the tank and will build a very rich humic layer. It'll also turn the water a very rich brown. So it has benefits, but you've just got to understand what you're dealing with and use it appropriately.
There's Mr. Steve.
Park officially.
Hello, Sheller.
Then Roy Ashmead.
And Fishbrella.
The best way to color up Africans is to put them in sunlight, either indoors or outdoors. If you could get them in ponds outdoors in the summer, the colors will really brighten. They'll get very rich. That's the best way. I mean, you can do things like add carotene to the food, and that works. But the most effective way is to get them outdoors.
Brine, shrimp, and water changes. Stir.
Brine, shrimp, and water changes. Yes and no. It depends how you're doing it. If you try to get a really large volume of brine shrimp, then you need to either have a pretty powerful microfilter, like a particle filter, like a sand suspension filter, that'll get all of that bacteria out. Or the other way to do it is to set up a tray outdoors, and when you finish hatching out shrimp, put the remnants in that, and it will develop a small quantity of shrimp that will mature and continue to spawn. You'll never get a lot of them, but if you've got a pretty good sized tray, like a 4 foot square tray that's maybe 6 or 8 inches deep. You can outdoors, winter and summer, you can leave it out all through the winter. If you do that with a lot of salt in it, and are able to prevent rain from washing it out, which is a good trick, you'll be able to harvest shrimp out of it all through the warm months without having to do water changes. If you're using it in a fish tank and trying to get a high level going, you're going to have to do regular water changes because it'll just be impossible to keep it from fouling otherwise. Denroy Ashmead. Hello, Denroy.
Kenneth D., thank you for all the well wishes. I hope you have a wonderful weekend or a wonderful week. Bass Queen 71, hello. Thank you, Crypt Keeper. Hit that notification bell. Got to figure out if dog slobber is good for fish.
I saw that. Yes, it is. Dog slobber is good for fish.
So's cat slobber.
Absolutely.
Oh, do you have anything going on Discord tonight? Hey, here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get something to eat. I'm really hungry, but
all right.
Once I do that, it's 7:30. We've been here an hour and a half. We need to draw a line in the sand.
I'll put the Discord link on here, and you guys.
We'll do it at 9 o'clock. I'll get back at 9, and we'll do a live Discord chat, which will allow you to come up on video and be able to show off tanks and whatever. That'll be great fun.
Oh my goodness, Robert goes. Robert is going to have his little unboy surgery tomorrow. Wish him luck.
Amen. Amen.
Him along with his brothers. That tail. Robert, move your tail. His brother's bobtailed. There's the link. I'm sorry. It was taking forever.
There's Bass Queen 71. Hello, hello. Nice to see you, dear.
Okay, chat, come back up. Well, I was dropping the Discord link, but my chat disappeared again.
Let me get it. I can get it.
If you'd come back up, come on. Oh, there it is. There's Discord. Got it. Yep, Robert and his fuzzy brothers. Yeah, tanked. Why my fish don't breed, say Grath? That could be so many things, though. Yeah, getting a little snip. He's going to get talking.
This biologist I was with this afternoon, it's Chuck who's in our club. He's a retired biologist from the state. We were talking about that very thing, and he was complaining about the difficulty in breeding fish. There's so many variables, but one of the major variables in today's market is that so many of these fish that we like have been bred in the same line, the same genetic line for so many generations that they've developed genetic weaknesses, one of which is an inability to breed very effectively. So the solution is to try to find new strains, to try at best to get wild fish, what's called F0 or FOs. And then you can breed them to an existing strain or simply start a new strain with them. It's a real problem for fish like guppies, angels, rams, fish that and all of the live bears that have been bred on farms with the same breeding stock for 100 generations.
Yeah.
That's just not good for the quality of the breeding stock. And I think, frankly, that's got everything to do with the kinds of problems we're having. We need to get on the farmers to get new stock in.
Yeah, or at least trade them around with each other. Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, that too. All right, guys. Good for their slime coat, right? Says
Nice,
Sam.
fast queen. She got a surprise trip to the fish store. Ooh, that sounds great.
Wonderful.
All right. Oh, here they go. They're telling y'all bye. Hear them?
Let's see if I can find my granddaughters. Here it is.
Yeah, I didn't see
You
no.
are watching Father Fish. Now please enjoy the video.
One more time.
One more time.
Come on. Why can't I play this? This is stupid. Oh, I see.
You are watching Father Fish. Now please enjoy the video.
There we go. That is Miss Nella Fox, who has not been with us this evening, but she frequently is. She is my 10-year-old granddaughter who did this especially for Father Fish. Thank you all. Love you all. Where's Mary? I lost Mary. There she is, right there.
Love you all. Thanks
Take
for being
care,
here.
Mary. Nice to have you here. Yeah, bye, everybody. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye for now. See you through the week. We'll be doing something this week. Bye
All
for
right.